It's recording now.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Yep, you're live.
Oh, you mean they showed me tripping over the chair here?
No, that was after.
Okay. You're going to say the licensing board clerk was drunk.
Yeah, you know. Well, that's it. It's our fault.
They drove in a drink.
How are you?
Good.
And you're David?
David Still.
David
Yes.
Still, okay.
David Snow.
And David, you run the package store.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Okay, hold on a second. Let's just ease off here.
I just want to be sure it was who it was.
Yes.
Okay. Have a seat.
So it is 5 p.m. So you want to start?
Sure.
Okay, good. Have a seat, sir.
All right, the meeting of the License Commission on May 15th, 2014 is now open, 5 o'clock. This is an open meeting, and it's being taped. And this is a continuation of a public hearing on the Union Street Package Store Alteration of Premises. Now, because the people who usually watch us don't know about this, could you just reiterate what you're trying to do? And then we have all transparency for any business that we're conducting.
Right, we're looking to expand the liquor store, take down one wall, change all the windows, and increase our capacity by 3 shelving units.
Okay, and you're represented by Attorney John Moriarty,
Moriarty.
okay, who was here at our last meeting. Oh, and he's
Yeah,
here
he's here.
now.
He's here now.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Attorney Moriarty, we're just going over the particulars because our meetings haven't been taped, and we just took a vote to tape in the spirit of transparency. And so people who will be watching this meeting aren't familiar with what has been going on. And so Mr. Pasco has explained that he proposes to have a alteration of premises. And we have been provided with drawings and gone over them. And do you know if that is, did we take the top copy?
No, you didn't, because you weren't sure if you needed it or wanted
Okay.
it.
I would like to have it for the file, okay?
Okay.
And,
There was conversation about the size of it. I was not gonna reduce it if I didn't need to reduce the size of it. So therefore, I left it in the original size. If you wanted to have that,
no, that would be fine, just the way you have it, okay?
Okay.
All right. We can fold it and we'll take care of it.
okay.
But we appreciate that, okay? And I think it's the same thing that we looked at before.
This is floor plan 1.
Okay,
Okay, that's the same thing?
yeah.
Okay.
Right,
Okay.
Floor plan 1.
Now, can we have these also?
Oh, I'm not sure what these even are. I just,
Would that have your dimensions on it, I think? The second page? No, this page right there. Take a look. You're more familiar with these than I am.
Yes. I think that this is,
This is good?
I think that is.
Okay,
this just gives a layout of the counter, how
Okay.
the counter's gonna look.
Yeah.
okay. This is fine. Okay, we'll just take this, okay?
That's all.
Okay. Now, for the purpose of this hearing, we would like to report that Commissioner Ray and I made a site visit a couple of days ago. And at the time, I guess it was your day off?
Yeah, I did take a day off.
Okay, but your brother covered for you, he came from the restaurant, and he told us what was going on and so forth, okay?
Like I said, and he told me that he was doing a coke order, he was doing inventory down in the cellar for the liquor store, and he had come up from the cellar.
Okay,
His wife is employed by the package store. She was working my hours in the package store.
okay, well, she wasn't there when we went in, but that's...
But because he was
okay.
downstairs getting inventory, so
Okay.
he went over there to get that inventory. And he came up from the cellar,
Yeah.
like he has told me, and I asked him about it, and he told me. he was
That's
doing
fine, that's fine,
the
okay.
inventory for Coca-Cola.
Okay. we've had some concerns about the entrances between the package store and the restaurant. And we've discussed some restrictions that we might like to place on the new restaurant, okay?
I'll put in what happened at the on-site, so I can explain.
Sure.
No, go ahead, do your thing.
Oh. I'm sorry, what do you mean, Ray?
Well, all right, I might as well bring it up right now. Bill and I went on the on-site to inspect it.
Yes.
Your brother was talking to Bill. I'm right next to him. And I was able to reach just like that, and grabbed a nip of
Right.
vodka, and I showed Bill.
Right.
I couldn't get it. I don't see any reason you need them right there. When I like to see them moved, because if somebody that's 21 brings in their 18-year-old friend or whatever, all they're gonna do is steal it. And your brother didn't even see me do it, and I was looking right at him.
Yeah.
He was there. I
Well,
mean,
because probably wasn't expecting you to do it.
well, this, all right, well, there's
No,
your answer.
But what happened the other day, like I say, I
No,
was
he's talking about,
where the nip rack is. I
he doesn't,
understand that.
because most liquor stores, I assume.
Right, I was able to just grab it.
Counter.
David, it was very easy to take because there was nobody
Right.
there when we went in.
Right.
I didn't want to say anything to your brother because it was yours.
And Ray, I think that if you follow the restrictions that we're gonna go through,
Yeah.
that would probably cover that.
Okay, good enough. I just want to explain what
No
happened.
problem, no problem, yeah, absolutely.
I understand it, but that usually, like I said, if I go in the cooler, like it happened the other day, and when the guy said I came and I wanted 2 ice houses, right? So, I mean, they're welcome to steal whatever they want when I go into that cooler for 2 ice houses, and, you know, without cameras there, I have no way of knowing what they're doing. So with the cameras there, I usually, review it and then,
Yeah.
and then take care of stuff. I actually saw somebody told me that it happened that was there, and they said I need 2 ice houses. I went from the counter, went into the cooler, and they took 3 nips,
Yeah.
So what? you
No, I
want
was just
the
curious.
Restrictions?
Yeah,
That
you
when
know,
you do your
maybe we'll get to
construction,
that.
that you move that behind the counter.
but the counter's going to be moved,
Yeah.
Or what, you think?
and I'm not.
Well, you'll get it when.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. They let it steal a nip on, but they can steal. I mean, his wife was behind the counter, and blatantly, the guy just went down the aisle and stuck a bottle of a 750 liter in his pants, and
Yeah.
lucky my brother
Oh, I understand.
watching
I'm
the
just
camera, and he saw that, he took it and he confronts him in the parking lot, because of that. I mean, a lot of stuff happens. and-
We understand that there's
Yeah,
always,
Yeah, that it's gonna
there's
be
always a
moved.
possibility
Right,
of
it's gonna
theft,
be-
and
Maybe
we're
you
going
should-
to address that in conditions.
I will tell you once, who was it, you or Jim that almost got run over?
I got hit by a
He
car.
got hit by a car trying to stop someone.
I didn't stop. I was standing there in the parking lot, and the kid was in the car. They had it was a grab and run. They ran in and ran out. I was behind the
They
counter.
ran out to
When I went
try-
outside,
they
and
tried to
he
run
actually
out.
ran me over with the car because I was standing out to the curb. I'm taking his plate down. I mean, it's.
Okay, no,
Okay.
we understand the challenges of operating an alcohol establishment as yours. You have any more questions, Chairman?
No, I'm fine. That was my
Yeah.
concern.
But we try
You
to
know.
take care of this with cameras, the whole store,
Yeah.
and I'm even contemplating putting cameras in the parking lot area too.
Yeah, you've already explained
You know.
that. We understand that.
Yeah.
I was just
The parking
letting you
lot.
know what could happen with them right there.
Yeah, but
Okay, so we're gonna need to make 2 motions for approval here. One for Pasco Pizza Incorporated doing business as Pizza House and David E. Pasco. So I guess,
Let's do the David E. Pasco first because that's who's here and this is the owner of the package store.
correct, yes. So I would make a motion that we approve the alteration of premises for David E. Pasco with the following conditions. One,
Attorney, we'll give you a copy.
yes, of course. Package store is to have a clerk on duty during hours of operation as listed on license, which means full-time person on duty.
Okay.
In
That's
the
understandable,
store.
yes.
Number two, doors that pass between the restaurants and the package store be locked at all times.
Okay,
Number three, no admittance signs to be posted on inside and outside of the two doors that presently connect each entity.
that's fine.
That's a motion.
I second it.
All right, motion made and seconded. Any discussion?
Does that
Understand?
do those sound correct to you?
Yeah, and I think and I hope it eliminates the problem that the ABCC had with the two entrances that we're joining, okay? We
Right.
hope that this, we're satisfied that it will. We hope that they will too. I'm sure, no, I'm not really sure. I'm hoping that they agree. And
Yeah, I made a call,
And
and
I-
Ralph just hasn't got back, and
I think they'll be fine with it. The
Yeah.
one thing, as far as this board, to continue the discussion, that I think is the most important thing, is that there's somebody on duty. You hire full-time personnel. We do not want the place to be empty, no clerk on duty, someone working in the kitchen, and when the bell goes off because someone came in the package store, that you run over there. That is not the
See,
intent
that's
of
what,
this.
sometimes you don't wanna, go get, but that's what you perceive, but sometimes, when
I
that bell
get,
goes
I
off,
get
it's
that.
telling.
I get that, but
you know
that's
what I mean?
going to be
It's
that's
telling
going
me-
to be written into
Yeah.
the conditions.
But I'm just saying,
So
sometimes,
if we walk in there and
Yeah.
there's not someone there
Right.
standing, I mean, I go to package
Well,
stores a lot,
yeah.
unfortunately, and whenever I go to a package store, there's usually someone standing at the counter.
right.
Okay.
But like sometimes Susan is in the cellar bringing liquor and
Understood.
stuff like
Understood.
that.
Understood.
She's
Just
doing
understand.
stocking all day. She'll sit
Understand the
watch the
spirit
camera.
of what we're trying to
Cover-
tell you.
I shouldn't, you know what I mean?
Do you understand
No,
the
I-
spirit
no, I
of
do.
what I'm trying
No, I
to tell you?
understand that completely.
Okay. Good.
You know,
So, any more discussion? No. Motion's been made and seconded.
all right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Unanimous.
it's done.
Take this.
And can you get a copy to Attorney Moriarty? Okay.
Yes, if I make a copy of that.
And actually, that should go on the license that goes to the ABCC for those conditions, okay? To be printed on the license or attached.
Yeah, there's a little place where you make, on Form 43, I believe it is.
Okay, so I also would like to make a motion for Pasco Pizza Incorporated doing business as Pizza House for alteration of premises.
Now, John, can you tell us what that is?
Basically, the restaurant's gonna be downsized. They're taking.
We already know this.
Yeah, they have the two.
Extra room? Yeah.
Right, they have basically two seating areas, one in the front, one in the side. They're gonna eliminate the side, and then they're going to have a separate back entrance.
Okay.
They have a side entrance now, which is gonna be eliminated.
Okay,
So
now
they'll
that back
have-
entrance is going to be along the wall where the package store is?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
and so you
It's
come,
a separate corridor to the back, and then there'll be a back, so the parking lot in the back can be,
you wouldn't happen to have a set of those prints, would you?
well,
got
that's
the-
part of.
Oh, it's all
part
part of
of
this?
that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's part of that. So
Okay.
that side,
right.
that side area is being eliminated, and the front
Okay.
area is being retained.
Okay. And this is what the restrictions take into consideration about the doors between the
Yes.
two? Okay, all right.
So I've made a motion that we approve the alteration of premises for Pasco Pizza Incorporated doing business as Pizza House. Motion.
Is there a second? You second it?
Oh, yeah, I second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? Ray?
I have no,
Jason?
No.
I have none either. All those in favor?
Aye.
Unanimous.
I have the Form 43s here,
Thank you.
and I will make a copy of this now, but I can certainly
You
add.
don't have to do that right
Okay, I
now.
can add in the.
Yeah, no, you don't need to do that right now.
Well, that can go to the ABCC with the...
I'm gonna put them right in this little box.
Okay.
Okay.
Will you be able to fit those all on?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
I just didn't know if the attorney needed a copy of it right now.
yeah, no, that's where you make the comment and stuff.
They'll be typed onto the. board signs at Form 43 and I type in the restrictions, I will be sending your entire packet with your check to Boston, and then it would depend on, you know, whenever we hear back from them, then we would have to.
How long do you think that would take, based on,
So I've seen it done in under 2 weeks, and I've seen it take a month, you know, it all depends. I mean, I'll definitely send it out first thing tomorrow. It probably shouldn't take as long as like a new license or something like that. It's an alteration of premises, so it may not take as much consideration as like a transfer or something to that effect. It's a much thicker, more involved.
Okay.
So I know when Glory Days transferred over to Glendale Grill, it took close to a month for that one, so that's it. But they're on their own time schedule, right, Mr. Redfern? The ABCC is on their own time schedule.
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay,
I'll
thank you.
send-
Thank you.
Thank you,
John.
gentlemen.
Okay, thank you for your
Thank you.
patience.
And I will be in touch with you, Mr. Pasco, as soon as we hear anything
yeah,
back.
Thank you.
thanks, appreciate it, thanks.
All right.
Sign your stuff for me. Yeah.
Hi, Hey, back again.
We're back again.
Are we missing Mr. Bernier?
I think he's got a minute or two until 5:15.
We have some new people. Are you here for this hearing?
Yeah.
Okay, this is a continuation of a hearing that we had a week ago Monday.
No, last
Monday.
Monday.
Last Monday?
Past Monday.
Yes,
That's fine. I can advise-
Just spending a lot of time together with.
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Okay. Have either of you made any contact with the police to talk about security for this day?
Security at my place of business? No, I haven't.
No, for the place where you intend to have the one-day licenses? No.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'll have all my staff.
Well,
work.
there's already
Okay,
police.
well, you know, we're going to back up a little bit because we're taping the meeting and to stay with transparency, and I don't think that the people who are watching this know what has taken place already. So we're here because 2 parties out of 3 are here requesting a one-day license to be issued on the celebration of the...
Three of three.
Oh, Bernier's here, okay.
Thank you.
Just explaining that in order to continue transparency with what's going on, we are taping this so that people will understand what's going on. Now, you 3 people who own a Section 12 pouring license in your own establishments are asking for a one-day license to have a outdoor liquor sales,
Molten wine.
Beer and wine.
beer and wine,
Yeah.
okay, on this cultural district festival,
Cultural chaos.
which, cultural what?
Chaos. I believe they call it.
Cultural chaos.
Well, more just like because art can be anything, right? That's the idea. It's not.
That's their name.
Is that because, no, so this is something they came up with when they asked for the service of liquor outdoors?
No.
This is
This
their
is
name.
just
This is
just the
completely separate.
very ways that art can take shape. Basically, that's why it's sort of chaos. Artwork, not business.
All right, so we're talking about the Cottage Street Cultural District Festival to be
Yeah,
held on
yeah.
June 14th, right?
Yeah, Saturday
Okay.
from 11 to 6.
From 11 to 6.
Yes.
Okay. All right, why don't you tell us a little bit about it and how it came up? Because is this something along the lines of what the
Well,
Cultural Center District first asked for, right?
Okay, but you speak to that.
Well, that really is not what this entails. We didn't know whether they wanted to be involved in that as a whole, but they don't. So
Well, now, wait a minute. They were looking...
obviously there's businesses that are open that day
Yeah.
that serve alcohol and food. And then there's also plenty of art booths, whether they're displaying their art, they're doing face painting, anything to represent the art in town. And the Cultural Society has to do certain events in order to stay up with the state. So one of their events is this cultural festival. They have permission to shut down the street. They have police they have fire, they have everything as far as containing it in that area. This is their festival. We didn't know in the beginning what direction that they wanted to go, if any, with the alcohol. We were just seeing what was out there, but I feel that's not their responsibility. If we are going to do anything with alcohol, the same as selling food, selling beer, selling, any kind of snacks, it's all wrapped into the same thing. Our thing was that if we go out on our own, so they're not responsible for this, even though there's already police presence, that we will be responsible for our contained area to dispense alcohol, beer and wine. So we're not trying to be the focus of this event. We are only businesses downtown that would like to be able to make money, and hopefully it turns into a fantastic event. So in future years, people will be like, oh, now we can get more and more people involved in the Easthampton arts. So us, for what we're doing personally, is so that we can sell a couple of beers. You can stand under that tent in contained areas. All three of us are right there where everything's happening. We happen to be a big section of that section of Cottage Street, and this is part of what we want to involve. And we have been responsible for alcohol in that area for years. And all we're looking for is to be able to put a tent out there, have it manned by our employees who are all ServSafe certified, and have some beer and wine. So if you would like to stand there and have a beer, then you're welcome to have a beer with your sandwich and watch the music.
This is in front of your establishments?
Or next
Well,
to
we're
it.
all in a different spot, but it's all where we're allocated area. The whole middle of the street is all people walking up and down. It has nothing to do with the street that's closed off. That area is for people to walk up and down the street and to appreciate everything that's going on with arts, with some music, with some
There's
food.
dance troops,
And-
there's all sorts of things going on.
Yeah, I mean, they just have a lot of events that are happening.
Okay, so...
We're not trying to make this a focus.
No, wait, all we're concerned about is the liquor license that you're
Right.
requesting, and where it is, and what provisions have been taken to ensure everybody's safety.
Yes.
Public safety.
Absolutely.
So, Amy, you say that this is, your application says, description of the licensed premises. This is staffed, roped off area directly in front of business.
My storefronts, yes.
Okay. Which is Amy's, right?
Correct.
Michael, you say parking lot of Brass Cat will be what?
Fenced off, I believe, was the
Will
word?
be, oh yeah, fenced
What?
or roped off
Fenced.
from
yes.
street.
Yes.
Picnic tables with umbrellas.
Mhm.
Now, where will that take place?
In the parking lot, that's it.
Oh, in parking, okay, okay. All right, that's,
Yep.
all right,
Not on the street,
okay.
my property.
Now, Mr. Bernier, you say that yours is roped off area in front of business.
Yep, that's
Okay.
what I was originally gonna
So
do.
you're almost across from Amy's,
Yeah, a little bit.
Kitty corner a little
Okay.
bit.
and you're a little bit further down.
Right.
Okay. Now, in talking to the cultural people who initially came to us with this thing, okay, we did a little investigation as to what the police were gonna rope off for an area. And I understand, although we don't have it officially from the police department, okay, but we have sent them an email, which they haven't answered today, because I think Mr. Duda said that the police chief is out of town. So we're hoping to get a response back quickly. But the area of, is it Orchard Street? At the end where Nick's, what's the name of that place there?
Needs.
Nini's is, roped off from there.
That's their idea.
That's not Orchard Street.
Yeah, yeah.
It's Orchard Street?
Yeah.
Oh, Orchard Street,
Orchard
okay, yeah,
Street.
no, I'm sorry.
Well, no, wait a minute,
No,
let's be
no,
sure.
they
Are
take
you
care-
sure?
Yeah, where
Yes.
Luigi used to be.
Yeah, that's
At the
Orchard Street goes from
Okay, I
five
thought
to,
it was.
Yeah.
it's like an L shape.
Well, he's new on the board.
Okay, we'll forget it.
I'm new in town.
I don't know if there's been a sign on that street for my life.
Well, that could be
That's
that.
not your fault.
So they're gonna close that, and they're gonna close down by your street, okay?
Right where the point is, I believe,
Right.
on the triangle there.
Now, offhand, would any of you know, well, how many houses are on Cottage Street?
There's
Okay, wait a minute.
No,
wait a
no,
minute. Before
what-
he answers that,
Yeah.
okay, that is not why we are meeting right now.
Well, this is why I'm gonna make a decision as to whether or not to grant a license. I want to have all things considered. How many houses are on?
Well,
I don't know.
shouldn't the Easthampton ECA be here for that, for those kind of questions?
Well, you know,
these
probably-
people aren't here representing
No,
representing
no, but probably
the
they-
ECA.
no.
They're here representing their own business.
Excuse me, guys, but Bill, when you picked me up, you asked me how many people were on Cottage
Yeah.
Street. And I said, I don't know, 100? And you said there was like 40.
There are
or
40
something like
residents.
that. I
40
don't think that has anything to do with.
Well, I think you
homes?
need to take into consideration the people who live in that neighborhood,
I live
okay?
in that neighborhood, and that's why I'm here.
Okay,
Right,
but
we're going to hear. I assume that you folks back there are here because of that, and we'll
Yeah.
definitely address you.
okay, so I'm just going to tell you what the initial plans were, all right? And so we're going to close off down by where you are, okay? So that means when trucks come in from 141, they're going to have to swing around to Maple Street
Correct.
to come down.
Yeah.
Now that's a street that abuts Cottage Street, or opposite, parallel,
Parallel.
okay?
Yes.
closely.
And there's no fenced-off area from where you propose to have your little alley.
Both sides of my parking lot will be fenced off. It's not just be fenced
We're
off.
not, it's not open.
Well, let me just go this further, okay? So they're gonna have to stop parking on Maple Street for those 2 days. Okay?
One day.
No, it's an afternoon.
No.
Afternoon.
No,
11
they're gonna
to
have to,
6.
your business establishment is open till 2 o'clock. You're able to be open till 2.
Right,
Okay.
but we're asking for a license that ends at 6
Okay,
p.m.
okay, but they're gonna have to keep Maple Street. I'm sure they're not gonna park cars on Maple Street.
They have an hour of cleanup time from 6 to 7 to reopen Cottage Street exactly the way
Okay,
that it was.
But they're gonna have to, there can't be any parking, that's why I need to talk to the police chief. There can't be parking on Maple Street for them trucks to make that swing around, okay?
There's not, but
Yeah,
that's
but
not up
that's-
to us.
What's the
No.
guy's
That's
name?
up to them to
No.
park. They're parking in
That's why,
other parking lots.
that's why we need to get together with the police department, because I wanna tell you something, if we're going to allow, if I'm gonna vote for this, okay, your places that wanna do business, I think need to be fenced off like it was down at the skate park.
Which is what we were gonna.
They've already
well,
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 I'm
yeah.
just telling you, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't placed any restrictions on you yet, okay? We haven't.
Right.
You tell us you might do this, okay?
So we
Well,
are. We are.
Well, we're
I-
going by
what
the
we said.
letter that we received of what the state expects
guidelines.
for
Well,
those.
state.
I think you need to do what the board needs to have done, okay?
No, I'm willing to do whatever the board
Okay,
would
that's
like.
all I'm asking. So,
Okay.
my thing is just like we had at the skate park. It be snow fenced off. You have a police officer to check IDs and put the bans on anybody that goes in that area.
I have nothing to do with the bands. I'm nothing, no, that's literally 80 yards away from my business.
Well,
I don't
if
have
they're
any-
gonna, if they're gonna go into your,
That's somebody else's permit. I don't have the permits to have the band. I am not hiring bands. I have nothing to do with it.
well, if you want me to vote for this, I'm gonna have to have a police officer in that area where you intend to put those people, okay?
Again,
Yeah,
It's gonna
Bill,
be
I
6 of my staff. I see no reason for it.
totally disagree
Think
with
of my
you.
fully
Well,
trained
let me-
staff.
If you're gonna,
Let me finish.
If you're going, no, I'm not going to let you finish. I mean, what you're saying is that these are 3 business owners whose sole purpose is to sell alcohol and food. Okay, and they are not allowed to let their patrons go outside with a drink. Okay, I know it because I've been there.
We don't do it.
This is
You don't
That
allow
sign
it.
is every day.
They don't allow it. So their employees will act exactly the same way that they act when the people are inside the place, not outside the place.
Well,
I don't see
Correct.
what's the problem with
well,
that is.
I'm not a fan of glass bottles outside.
Never.
No, no one is.
It's
Nope,
not,
I'm not.
no.
No, I'm not.
None of us are either. We don't have to
And
clean
if there's
that
any
up.
outside service, it should be in cups or
It's all
cans.
cups,
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
not even cans. It's coming out of a keg
Cups.
and it's poured wine into a cup.
I don't care about that.
Okay.
No glass bottles. These are things that we can require, okay? If we so choose. But I really think we need to talk to the police chief because this thing is going too fast and there's no checks or balances on here from what this cultural center first discussed with us.
we are not representing.
We're not
them.
representing
They have
anything
nothing
to do with
this
this.
conversation.
I think-
Completely
They
separate
have nothing to
from
do with
them.
this
Well,
conversation, Bill.
do you,
Nothing.
how many people do you anticipate coming to this?
I don't know.
They don't
I'll have a
know.
bunch.
They're not.
Well, I'm hoping I
that's
get
not the
another
point.
25 people that come underneath my tent and spend at least,
Okay.
$15, $20 that I can't get from inside my establishment. So I would prefer to be able to have a couple of people have beers there. When they leave that 10 by 20 area or whatever his parking lot size is, they're not having any alcohol up and down the street, just so you guys know. It's not you walk around with a beer or anything. It's the same thing as if they were in the bar and we were manning the bar. It's a small area in front. When they finish their beer, the cup stays, they go. Same as when you're inside the restaurant, which we do. My
Well-
clubhouse, I'm allowed to serve alcohol in there, but you can't go outside with that either. And my staff pays attention to the clubhouse and whatever banquets are in there. They don't let anyone leave.
Well,
Same as
according
the
to these
bar.
people here that are sponsoring the event, current Cottage Street open studios attract up to 2,000 visitors. The Cottage Street Cultural District Festival intends to attract an additional 3,000 patrons. You got a copy of this?
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
So that's-
we can't serve all those people, obviously. We have a small area that's contained that
Well,
we're
it is-
going
When
to
they
keep
serve
control
2,000
over.
people, that's for a whole weekend. And if
And
people
those are
come and
families.
go.
They're
no,
not like
no,
there's
no,
citizens.
this is-
They're not all looking
And
for
that,
No, no, I say,
Billy,
when they- when they
you're
say that
assuming
they-
that everybody's going to be drinking.
Having
No.
a beer, not everyone's having
No, what
a
I'm
beer.
saying is when
They're
they
gonna-
had
hopefully I
2,000
sell just
people-
as many waters
No,
as I sell
the
beer.
Cottage Street Cultural District Festival intends to attract an
Exactly.
additional
There's not
3,000
enough room to
people.
be able
what I'm
to
saying is
have
when
a
they-
party
The
under there.
fireworks have
Okay,
15,000.
one person at a time, please.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Fireworks have 15,000.
Yeah.
Everything goes great.
Do- Well,
fine.
how many cops do they have at?
I don't know.
Well,
But
then
there's
maybe we ought to
15,000
find
people
out.
in town.
I'm only concerned about how many cops we're gonna have here.
I don't
That's
know.
not our business.
That's
Well,
not-
that's our business.
Okay.
That's our business,
Yeah.
yeah.
But you're not licensing them. You're not asking.
No,
you
but
to license them.
I'm not gonna
Asking
do
you
it
to
unless I
license
have the
us.
police come here and tell me, how are you gonna handle this crowd when there's drinking outside?
Okay,
And
we
have an
understand your
open
position.
law.
Okay.
Bill,
Yeah.
can we move on?
No,
No. I think we understand your position very clearly. Can we move on? Because we have people in the audience who I believe may have something to say. And since this is an open meeting, maybe we would allow them a chance to voice their opinion. Would you agree?
Sure, go ahead. Who would like to start?
If you got anything, just please state your name and your address for the record.
My name is Jennifer Downer. I live at 103 Cottage Street.
Jennifer what?
Downer, Downer.
103 Cottage?
Yep.
Thank you.
And I'm here because I am concerned that this party or these tents are going to end up attracting people that are going to bring their own in, and then it's going to end up leaving these in confined areas. It's going to end up in my yard. What happens if somebody attends one of these tents, gets drunk, stumbles down the street, falls in my yard? Am I now going to be held personally liable, or are the business owners going to be held liable? Because it's not fair to me. I didn't, they've all said that they have indoor pouring. Why does it need to come outside?
Thank you. Anyone else?
No, I'm just.
Sorry, just wanted to give him a chance.
No, that's good.
I did. I mean, I understand it is free enterprise and everything else, but I don't understand.
Can I ask who you live with? You have children or?
Oh no, I live with my
Live with
parents.
me.
I mean,
Okay.
My wife
they're
and I.
elderly, but
So the three of you together?
Yes.
Together. Okay.
right.
All
And I don't understand why it has to come outside.
Well, I think maybe it could happen at another time if there were enough planning, but I don't think, without the police here.
And that's
to-
my other. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, I don't know what
To
we're
tell
talking.
me what provisions they've taken to handle a crowd like this, especially with outside drinking on 2 public streets.
And I agree with you fully because, no offense, I'm sure everybody is trained to check IDs, but what happens if somebody slips by? Fake ID, I'm just walking in behind this guy and they don't catch him.
Suppose a fight broke out.
And I
Who
think
would
one.
be able to control that in that confined area?
I completely understand what you're saying. The only thing that I would see from that is that that's a almost daily thing in your neck of the woods.
Right.
Okay, you've got 3 bars, actually more than 3 bars.
7.
Right, but I don't have
4
fight.
bars
Seven.
plus,
Seven on
plus
Cottage
that, and it's fairly well contained.
Oh,
Then,
Yeah.
and this is not a festival for drinking. This is not what this is all about, okay? And just to
Oh, no, I
be
fully
clear,
understand, but I just.
be clear that what we're talking about right now is not about the festival. It's just about allowing them
right.
to have, a 1-day license to pour wine and beer in front of their establishment.
Right, and
with restrictions. The same restrictions, actually more restrictions than they already have within their actual entity of their business.
Right. No, and like you had mentioned, it occurs daily, but they're in a brick and mortar building. Now it's a piece of fence that's going to hold these people in, and how easy to climb over a fence. Not that anybody would, but I'm just, showing all, trying to show all sides of the situation.
I totally understand what you're saying.
I've seen that all over the state on my prior job, and it's, there's, like you're saying, somebody, but I don't see too many problems with that, on that.
There's going to be police on each side of the barricade.
No, we don't know that.
Yes,
and
we do
one
know that.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do know that.
No, we don't.
Yeah, we do know that.
Well, you say we do, I say we get the police chief here and ask him.
I could probably, I have in the minutes recorded from the meeting when the cultural people came.
And they
did
said
say
that.
they were paying for police with the grant money.
Because the grant money is paying for the police to be
But I
there.
don't know how many, I don't recall, I have to check the minutes.
I don't think they're going to have a beat cop swinging a stick
I don't know.
up and down the street. I don't think they're going to do that.
I'd like to talk to the police chief.
But I mean, listen,
I'm just sorry that
Billy,
we all didn't
we're-
get together.
We're not talking. Well, we did all
It's our
get
third meeting,
together.
Billy, we're getting together.
Well,
We're not talking about a large swath of land here. Okay, we're talking about one piece,
Short platform.
short path of Cottage Street. Okay, and if someone's going to leap over, and I understand, and I don't want to ridicule you or what you said. But if someone's going to jump over the fence and just bolt, I mean, it seems a little unrealistic. And if I lived there, as you do, I would be a little skeptical. I would be a little concerned. But I think the thing is going to be so contained that there's really not much anything that's going to happen. If we're going to be that concerned about things like this, then you mentioned the 4th of July, the fireworks. We should cancel it. Okay, have you been there? When was the last time you were at the fireworks?
Right, but it's not on Cottage Street.
it's not on a residential street.
Yeah, but the streets
That's
closed.
the neighborhood, the
But the
whole
streets
thing is all
closed.
neighborhood.
And they don't close Taft Avenue.
No. I mean,
And if I could say the one thing that was brought up.
Do they
yeah,
sell
somebody could
beer at
bolt
the,
and jump a fence,
fireworks?
but they can also just walk out an open door.
no, but do they sell
Which we
beer?
have
Do
in
you
our
sell
business.
beer at the fireworks?
No, I
Why?
do not.
People bringing their own.
Well, yeah, but I
No.
mean,
Well,
I
maybe
know,
then
I
you should
never
be
thought about
contained,
it.
and you wouldn't have people walking around with coolers,
Fireworks
and then
aren't on
those
Cottage
fights
Street.
do break out. But when it's contained and someone's actually
fireworks
pouring
are
it,
not-
they
At
know
least
who they're giving it to.
At least we have
compared to
responsible
somebody else
business
bringing it.
owners selling the alcohol rather than people coming in with coolers.
well, I don't
Right.
think there's going to be coolers on Cottage Street.
Demonstrating.
Yeah.
Well, no, that's right.
Yeah,
That's
I
why
mean,
this is
we have an open container
far
law.
safer.
We have an open container law. There won't be any coolers.
Right.
Oh, right, because there's
Well,
no
that's silly.
open
That's like
containers
saying
at
a
the
golf
fireworks.
course, you
Well,
can't bring a
right?
cooler, but
Well,
someone's
take that up with the
And there are cops at the fireworks.
Yeah.
They were drinking at fireworks, weren't they?
I think well, I think we should really get the police chief in and have a discussion.
I see no reason to do that.
just
I
to
see
see.
no reason, no reason at all for that. I don't want.
I don't see any reason.
I don't want to waste his time
Okay.
on this, since he's already obviously been contacted by the ECA. It is the ECA, right?
Well,
On having a police detail that is
And
being
fire.
and fire detail being paid not by, well, technically, not being paid by the city payroll, being paid by the ECA grant to patrol the one side and the other side. Why?
Well, in between, I believe they have 3 police officers they paid for.
Why does
Plus fire.
Chief McMahon have to come in here
Because
and talk to us
you're
about
you're
this.
expecting a crowd of between 2,000 and 5,000 people.
But we're
They're
not
gonna be
expecting
in my
all
business.
of
I
them
can't
to
allow
be
them in my
drinking.
business all at once.
That's way too many. I got
That's
100
not
people
the only
that
reason
allowed,
you
that's
have
it.
police is for drinking, you'd have to police for any event that could cause harm to anybody.
However, when you have
We do
people,
business every day.
Yeah.
But
Do-
not
do
for
you-
5,000 people.
No.
But not all of them are going to be drinking. I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Doesn't
Is that
matter, they don't have to be
if,
drinking.
if you go with that logic, that means that you need to have a police officer at the front door of every establishment that serves alcohol every day. You know, and you don't do that.
No, but you don't have 5,000 people again.
Yeah, but you don't-
You're talking
what-
about an out-of-town crowd too. You're not talking about only Easthampton.
Good.
That's not what we're
Good.
I'm
talking
good.
about.
Well, that's great. As long as you don't get stabbed or somebody doesn't get
Oh,
mugged. It's a
all
culture,
right,
yeah,
all right,
right.
all right.
It doesn't
Enough of
happen,
that,
right?
enough of
Tell
that.
me
Okay.
about it.
That's not why this event is being put on.
But it has to have some crowd control.
That's why
They
there's
do,
three
that's
options.
That's why there's
society
three police
is
officers
taking
there,
care
of
and
it.
that's why the
One,
that's
three,
why the
two
police
police
station
officers
is
for 5,000
what, you know, a block away.
I think the 5,000 is a little
Heavy metal,
optimistic.
rock and roll.
I don't feel like that's really what we're here for. We're not
No,
here
no,
to
you're
control the cultural district. That's,
No,
they're
no,
open meetings
that is
every week as
not
far
what
as
you're
that
here
goes.
for.
So we're not
Control
here
our
for
own
that.
businesses
And-
as
and-
I have for 20 years.
And Bill, you
without-
understand, that's not why they're here. They're not representing the ECA.
no, they all have their own liquor licenses and they all have their own establishments.
Correct.
And they don't really need to carry this outside for this event
We would
in
like
an
to.
area that is residential, that I can
commercial.
see trash being thrown between Maple Street and Cottage Street, in between the buildings or whatever.
What does
Pick
that
it
have
up.
to do with them? The ECA is going to be in charge of that.
They're the ones that are bringing the liquor outside, okay?
That's
ECA
what
is not
happens.
bringing liquor outside.
We're
Why?
not having any trash.
It's gonna
You
stay-
can't leave the
okay, we
tent
can't leave
without
the
a
place.
You
permit.
can't leave the
It's all
tent.
staying in my business.
Okay, that's
Hold it.
why if this board votes, then I'm going to request that a police officer be at each of those three places that has a license to serve outdoors, to check IDs and put a band on their
I
hands.
will
I
tell you,
think
my,
that is-
my employees are more trained to check IDs than Humphrey.
Then a police.
Well, I'd rather have a police
They're all
officer.
safe serve.
We are
Right.
certified by
Yeah,
the
excuse me.
state. The,
Gene, I've been in your place
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
And Mike, I've been in there. I have never, ever seen any type of problem about you guys.
We try to get rid of it before it happens.
Absolutely.
Always.
I've seen that. I mean, I've gone there to eat. By the way, you got good food, you know.
Appreciate it.
But I don't see a problem.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Amy, for
At
not
this
being-
point,
That's okay.
I think we've
we have
gone.
good food
You
too.
got next
so-
week.
We've gone through this enough. Okay, at this point, I'd like to make a motion.
Well, make a motion.
Okay. Well, I guess to be proper about it, I'd make a motion to approve the request for a special liquor license to Eugene Bernier with the restrictions of no glass bottles or no bottles or glasses outdoors, and to maintain their restrictions on the separation of receipts between each business, anything that's done indoors and done outdoors. That's a motion.
Okay.
Can you read the motion back?
Really?
Well, I want to be sure because,
I would make a motion.
no, she'll read it back.
Okay, thank you.
Mr. Duda made a motion to approve the one-day liquor license for Eugene Bernier with the restrictions that there be no glasses or bottles outdoors, and that there is a separation of receipts between both licenses. Is that correct?
I'm sorry.
Sounds right to me.
Could you just please repeat it in my ear?
Mr. Duda made a motion to approve a one-day special liquor license for Eugene Bernier with the restriction that there be no glasses or bottles outdoors, and that there is a separation of receipts between the two liquor licenses.
Okay. It is legal what you guys want to do by state, and I'm going to second the motion.
All right, motion has been made and seconded, and as read by the clerk, and now we'll have a discussion. Well, I suppose I'm the only one that can get some discussion in. If the board would consider putting on that motion that to ensure public safety, a minimum of 6 police officers must be hired to control the expected 2,000 to 5,000 people in attendance. Secondly, that each one-day license holder must use snow fence to enclose the area where alcoholic beverages will be served. A police officer will be assigned to each to check IDs before a wristband is issued, and cans and cups only, no glass bottles.
Well, we already covered the no glass bottles part. Personally, if we're still in discussion,
Yeah?
I believe that that's totally unnecessary. I mean, that's like a police state for a community celebration.
Well, that's
Okay.
why I couldn't leave my house.
And, you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. You know, I understand where you're coming from. But, you know, that's... You want to make them have police just going up and down the street?
No,
And
right.
they've already stated, and I believe it, and Ray has supported what I've said, that, you know, these guys know what they're doing. You know, they don't need cops to check IDs. They know how to check IDs. And it's not like you're going to get some 18-year-old kid. I mean, could it happen? I mean, anything could happen. I mean, I could walk outside, get hit by a bus right now. That could happen. But, you know, some 18-year-old kid's going to bust in there, and he's going to fool somebody with a fake ID and guzzle a beer and have it half full and jump the whatever they have as a barrier and take off towards Maple Street. I mean, that's just not being reasonable. I totally disagree with what you're saying. The only thing that you said there that I agree with is no glass, you know, bottles or glasses outside. It'd have to be all plastic cups. And anything else, as far as what you had said before, as far as trash or anything like that, does not fall on them. I mean, they're going to clean up after their own things. If we have a problem with anything else, then it goes to the ECA, and then that's not our purvey. Okay, that's the building department. That's the, I'm sorry,
Planning department.
planning department. You know, I mean that's that's their deal. That's not our deal. We're just talking about this, and I think that this is reasonable. I have a motion, and I disagree with your second condition. So
That's-
my motion stands.
That's a condition that 6 police, is that the one we're talking about?
No, the motion on the floor is to approve the license for Eugene Bernier, providing there are no glasses or bottles outside and that they comply with the mandatory separation of receipts between the 2 licenses. That's
the
the motion that's been seconded.
Okay, I agree with that.
You gonna second that?
Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
He already seconded it.
Oh, he did.
All right, and the discussion is to amend that to include this request.
And what was the request again, Bill? I'm sorry, I did my head.
To ensure public safety, a minimum of 6 police officers must be hired to control the expected 2,000 to 3,000 people in
Pay the
attendance.
6.
Second, each one-day license holder must use snow fences to enclose the area where alcoholic beverages will be served. A police officer will be assigned to check IDs before a wristband is issued. Cans and cups only, no glass bottles. Agree that this amendment should be added about the police being hired and check the IDs and give a wristband.
I'm sure the police have already have security.
No, I'm asking that this be attached to the license if it passes. That's all.
You guys are very
Let me ask you a question. So for my little area, for a 10 by 20 area, I'm gonna have 6
That's the
police
size
there?
of this.
No.
But those 6 police, where are they going? What, I'm gonna have to pay for those extra.
Well, I don't know who
police.
pays. I don't know
Well,
who pays.
What are you saying? You're saying I need somebody checking IDs at my spot?
Well,
How
if
many?
the city, No, there'll be one assigned to each of you
Okay.
that have an enclosed area where you're gonna serve
So
beer and wine.
I'll have to pay for that police officer to be there, right?
Well,
And my
That's-
argument against
You
that
think
is
so?
that
No.
what do you need to have a police officer stationed at every bar?
no, just the outside places that intend to sell liquor
I-
outside their
Don't
premises.
see
Smaller
the
than the bar.
logic in
They're
that.
smaller than the bars.
10
Huh?
to 20
They're
areas.
smaller than the bars.
Yeah.
The area.
Very easy to keep control of.
Now, what's the police get it on work? You know,
I don't
for
know.
the road.
I don't know.
I've never had to hire one.
You-
No, I know, is it like 40
Ray,
years?
you won't wait until we ask the police to come
Yeah.
here.
No, I'm just curious.
How
Okay,
can they
we're still
know?
having discussion.
Yeah, so I'm.
Ray, at this point, I've made a motion. You've seconded. He's asking for an amendment on the motion. You have to decide. Do you want to agree with that amendment or not?
Not to 6 cops.
Okay, all right. All right, so,
And there's gonna be cops there anyways, so
Yes.
you guys, they'll be checking.
okay,
Right.
so is there any more discussion?
I mean, I don't-
With them, no.
Pardon
No.
me?
Oh.
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
I'm
the
sorry.
amendment fails. I'll call for the motion and we'll take a roll call vote, Susan.
Could we read the motion again?
Sure.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
And I would request respectfully that this motion be covered, for time, that it covers Eugene Bernier, Amy Floric, and Michael LaValle, because it's all going to be the same thing. Okay? We'll have 3 motions, but you don't have to read it all 3 times. Okay? You guys okay with that?
I am, yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine.
All right, the motion is that we approve a 1-day wine and malt liquor license for Eugene Bernier, will be Amy Floric and Michael Valley, providing they have no glasses or bottles outside and that they comply with the mandatory separation of receipts between the 2 licenses.
You can have a roll call vote. So you
Call
can
for
record it.
roll
Sure.
call vote.
Yep.
Mr. Redfern,
Yes.
Mr. Sullivan,
No.
Mr. Duda,
Yes.
motion passes.
Okay, if we have no more business, I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
Absolutely.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Wait, you want your licenses, don't you?